Hey guys, welcome to the Jeff Bruce. I'm Jeff Bruce, and today we're going to talk about the struggle for, I guess, the desire that most people have, many people have, to be seen, to be heard, to be liked, to be recognized, and basically to be in the spotlight. Now, if this isn't you and you have kids, I encourage you to listen to the end because chances are they are immersed in this culture that is really pushing this on them. So it's really no secret that we live in this culture that's really pushing this narcissistic mentality on everybody. If you've seen the movie, or I guess documentary, The Social Dilemma, I think it was on Netflix. I'm not sure if it still is or not. But it really shows how social media companies and marketing companies, they've found something in the human mind and the human psyche that can really trigger this emotional response to getting likes and liking something that somebody posts. So think about it. Have you ever put a post up on social media and it only gets a few likes? And you just start to think like, man, how come people don't like this? Or even worse, do people even like me? I mean, that's a really unhealthy place to be. And think about how kids are. I mean, I know kids that will just take so much time to put up the most perfect image, and then they're constantly looking to see how quickly is it getting likes, who's liking it, who's not liking it. And they make all kinds of judgments and make their friends enemies because of their response on social media. And that's just social media. And honestly, I think that mindset that we have actually carries over to places like work and in the home, where we're just not getting the recognition that we think we deserve. And so over time, we've been trained to think that success is reached, it's earned, when we are in the spotlight. Now, I'm reading a book by a guy named Tim Shurrer called The Secret Society of Success. In the book, Tim is basically redefining success the way we know it today. And he does that through just a number of really engaging, just great stories of people that chose to not be in the spotlight. So in the book, Tim Shurrer defines the spotlight mindset as this unhealthy desire for attention and recognition. I think most of us can probably relate. And when you think about it, it's the unhealthy desire part that obviously is the problem. It seems like it's kind of natural for us to do hard work and to kind of desire recognition. But when we become obsessed about it and we're pursuing it, that's when we really can get ourselves into a dark place. When it's no longer about our enjoyment or passion for the work that we're doing, the good work that we're doing, if it's not about the relationships that we're developing, we're really putting ourselves in an unhealthy place. What Shurrer says is this leads to things like comparison with others or a fear of failure, maybe damaged relationships and constantly seeking influence with others rather than actually developing relationships with others. And really, it all sounds really exhausting and depressing. So throughout the book, what Tim Shurrer does is he shares a number of stories of people who either were pursuing the spotlight and didn't find what they were looking for, never found the joy and the purpose and the happiness they were seeking, and also those who chose to not live in the spotlight and really the happiness that they did find by making that decision. So let me pause real quick and just say I listen to about maybe 6 to 12 books a year. I listen to them on Audible. I used to read books, but it takes me forever. So I listen to them now, and I have a journal, and I just take notes as I go. And that way I just really absorb what I want to get from that book. This book, The Secret Society of Success, is by far, right now for 2022, my top book. I highly recommend this for everybody, whether this is you or somebody you know, or if you're a boss or a supervisor, it certainly applies there. And obviously if you have parents as well, because trust me, your kids are getting bombarded with this kind of mindset from every direction. I'll put a link to the book in the description below, and you can also go to thejeffbruce.com and pick it up there. And if you get it from one of those links, you'll be supporting the Jeff Bruce as well without any additional money out of your pocket. So let's get back to this. Really, I can't share the whole book, but there's a couple stories and ideas that I want to share with you before we close this out. Okay, so there's two stories I want to share that I just love. Trust me, Tim Shurrer, the author, tells them a lot better than I do. But one is about, and this is a story he shared a lot, about Michael Collins, who was the driver, the operator of Apollo 11. So Apollo 11 brought Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin to the moon to walk on the moon. Michael Collins stayed in the spacecraft and circled the moon. So they come back down to Earth, and who's the media swarming after? Neil and Buzz. And Michael Collins just really didn't get a whole lot of attention. He never stepped on the moon. And so you'd think man, this guy's probably all bitter and frustrated and angry. These guys are in the spotlight and he's not getting any attention at all. But what was interesting about Michael Collins is it didn't bother him one bit. He was just happy and honored to be on the team that got to go to space. I mean, honestly, I would be fine just driving the spaceship around. Here, these guys are getting interview after interview, and Michael Collins just was not in the spotlight. So Michael Collins basically sacrificed the spotlight to accomplish something for the team. And another story that really resonated with me was about these guys called Domestiques. And if you're familiar with the Tour de France, I know what it is. I know it's a big bike race in France. It takes a long time. And so these domestiques are basically cyclists that what they do is they pave the way. They block the wind for one main rider who they expect to win, or at least they want this guy to succeed. So really what they do is they sacrifice everything for the one. And these are not the guys that get in the spotlight. They're not the ones that get the interviews. It's the main cyclist on the team that's in front of the camera. So they give up the spotlight for the team. So yeah, sure, maybe these guys aspire to be the main guy at some point, but in the meantime, they're not bitter or angry or frustrated to sacrifice that spotlight for the sake of a winning team. So generally, that's what this book is about. Tim is wanting us to see that success isn't found in the spotlight. In fact, lots of times it seems like there's a lot of misery associated with the spotlight. And if we can find joy and contentment in not being there, we'll just have a much more satisfying and content life. So there are two applications I wanted to share with you. I'm just going to share one today, and the next video I'll share the other. So one of the simple ways that we can be a member of the Secret Society of Success is found in chapter 5, and it's called The Recognition That You Deserve. Now, most of us are never going to get the recognition that we deserve for everything that we do. Oh, man. Somebody just turned their lawnmower on. All right, gotta move. So I think I got the fire department cars that they tear apart behind me. It's kind of exciting. So let's wrap this up with one of my favorite takeaways from the Secret Society of Success, and then next week I'm going to share another one as well. But chapter 5 of the book is called The Recognition That You Deserve. You know, and truth is, most of us don't get the recognition that we deserve, especially when we think of our jobs. Now, I run a small Christian youth mentoring organization, and I can't tell you how many times I've told people what I do, and they're like, oh, and what do you do for work? Or is that your full-time job? And yeah, it's my full-time job. I've had a number of students in our ministry too find out that my staff are either part-time or full-time. They're like, oh, we thought you were volunteers here. So people just sometimes don't know what it takes to operate a program like that and all the things that go into it. And so the truth is, yeah, people just really don't recognize the work that gets done behind the scenes just to make things happen. And I don't think we're really that concerned about it, but it still is really important that people are recognized for their hard work and their accomplishments. So here's something that we implemented at our organization, and this can be done in your home, at your job, you know, whether you're a supervisor or boss or even just, you know, kind of on the same playing field as everybody else. It's such a simple idea, but so meaningful to people. So what we started doing in our staff meetings is I have in our agenda each week a shout out to, you know, one or two staff members for the things that they accomplished that week. And it really doesn't need to be these big grand things. It could just be completing a task or writing a grant, maybe a success story in meeting with somebody. I know for me, that kind of affirmation and recognition just really energizes me. And then once we give the shout outs, these shout outs go on a dry erase board right in the center of the office, and they're up there all week. So it's just this constant reminder of recognition. And so what Shurrer talks about is just really creating or cultivating this culture of recognition. And I think this can happen in the workplace and in the home as well. What if we did this each week with our kids and did shout outs to our kids for getting their chores done or for getting good grades or whatever it might be? It's just another way of saying I'm proud of you, but it's intentionally recognizing something that they've done. So that is just one simple way that we can be a member of the Secret Society of Success. So try this out either in your office or in your home or both, and write in the comments below how it goes. So guys, that's what I got for this week. I strongly urge you to check out The Secret Society of Success by Tim Shurrer. I promise you won't regret it. And if you're a parent, check out this video on how to raise the best kids. These phrases will speak volumes into your kids' lives. See you next time. Man, everybody's complaining about the heat right about now. I'll take this over winter any day. Oof, oh boy. Starting to sweat. Not complaining though.